to tell you that I'm comfortable with dying, but not anxious about it. Paul talked about that. Let me tell you a story about Billy Graham. I heard one of my predecessors here talking about Dr. Graham, our singer Wintley Phipps singing his hymn. You get that, all of you. Save me one. I want half price. And a story about Billy Graham. I was down to visit with him. He's a dear friend of mine. His grandchildren attend Liberty. Got two up there right now. Third one coming this fall. And a bunch have already come through. Billy Graham, the fourth, graduated there. And Roy, by the grace of God, went through. And Franklin's daughter, Sissy, is there right now. The Grahams are dear, longtime friends. And I went down to Montreat to visit with him this past winter and this past fall. And Mrs. Graham is not in good health. She's bedridden. As you heard Wednesday, Dr. Graham is struggling with Parkinson's and other problems. But he lives up on a hill, up on a mountain, top of the hill. And the people down, the civic leaders down in Charlotte, wanted to honor their favorite son with a luncheon in his honor. And Billy was reluctant to go. As I said, he has Parkinson's and other challenges. But the Charlotte leaders said, we don't want you to preach a long sermon. We just want you to come and let us honor you. And his family convinced him to do it. And at the luncheon, after a lot of people said some wonderful things, and no one could say enough good things about God's favorite preacher, Dr. Graham stepped to the rostrum, looked at the crowd, and let me read to you what he said. This was 6 years ago. He was only 81. I'm reminded today of Albert Einstein, the great physicist, who this month has been honored by Time magazine as the man of the century. Einstein was once traveling from Princeton on a train when the conductor came down the aisle punching the tickets of every passenger. When he came to Einstein, Einstein reached in his vest pocket. He couldn't find his ticket. So he reached in his trouser pockets. It wasn't there either. He looked in his briefcase, couldn't find it. Then he looked in the seat next to him. Wasn't there. The conductor realized he was embarrassed and said, Dr. Einstein, I know who you are. We all know who you are. I'm sure you bought a ticket. You don't need one. And Einstein nodded appreciatively. The conductor went down the aisle, continued to punch the tickets, and as he got at the end of the card about to go into the next one, he turned around and looked back, and there was the great physicist on his hands and his knees, underneath the seats, looking for that ticket, down searching for that ticket. And the conductor rushed back to him and said, Dr. Einstein, don't worry. I know who you are. No problem. You don't need a ticket. I'm sure you bought one. And Einstein looked at him, Dr. Graham said, young man, I too know who I am. But what I don't know is where I'm going. and then, having said that, Billy Graham continued, see this suit that I'm wearing? It's a brand new suit. My wife, my children, my grandchildren are telling me I've gotten a little slovenly in my old age. I used to be a bit more fastidious than I am now. So I went out and I bought this new suit for this luncheon and for one more occasion. You know what that occasion is? This is the suit in which I'll be buried. But when you hear I'm dead, I don't want you to immediately remember this suit that I'm wearing. I want you to remember this. I not only know who I am, I also know where I'm going. And Dr. Graham, for 67 years, has preached the gospel of Jesus Christ, the message of his death, burial, resurrection on behalf of all of humanity. And if you're here today, no matter who you are, what your background, you don't need to be a Baptist or Pentecostal or Catholic. You may be a Jew or a Muslim. I'm telling you, Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, the life. No man comes to the Father but by me. Trust him as your Lord and your Savior.